Hello, my name is Stacey Ann Jackson and welcome to the Basic Water Needs training video on the Tulip tabletop water filter. In this short film, we'll describe the different components of the water filter as you unpack it, then explain step by step on how to assemble your water filter, followed by some instructions and advice on how to maintain and care for your filter. You will find a mixture of components that you need to fully assemble your water filter. So you have two lids, an upper lid and a lower lid. You can tell which is the lower lid as it has one hole in it and the upper lid has no hole. You will also find two containers, an upper bucket and a lower bucket. The lower bucket has a hole in the lower side for the tap to be attached to, and the upper bucket has a hole in the bottom. Packed in these buckets, you will find a tap with a tap nut and two rubber rings. You will also find loosely placed in the bucket a fast flow hose, 2 pieces. And now it's time to unpack the star of the show, the Tulip filter element. When you open this small box, you will find a filter pouch, pre-filter pouch, a scrub pad, an end-of-life indicator, and, of course, the filter element. You take the filter element out of the protective bubble wrapping and you will see it also has a filter nut on it. And now that you unpacked everything, it's time to fully assemble your Tulip tabletop water filter. So first, you take the pre-filter pouch and cover the filter element like so. And then you tighten it by pulling this down. Next, you screw off the filter nut, but make sure you leave the rubber ring on. Next, you want to take the upper bucket and the lower lid. You place the upper bucket on top of the lower lid and you take the filter element and put it through the hole like this. Make sure you don't push it in. To avoid any breakage, you rather try to turn it. And you turn it upside down and you take the filter nut and then you screw it back on by tightening the filter element and make sure this is tightly fastened. That's very important. Like so. You can place it upside down and then you take the fast flow hose, the 2 pieces, and you attach them like this by putting the longer bit into the smaller bit. If you hold it on top here, you can attach the fast flow hose to the nipple of the filter element, like so. If you leave this like this right here, you take the lower bucket and the tap nut. You take the tap nut off by screwing it off and you take off the second rubber ring. Remember I said there are 2 rubber rings. You take the tap and you place it in the hole of the lower bucket. Then you put the rubber ring back on, like so. And you tighten it by using the tap nut. Make sure that this is tightly fastened. You don't want any water to leak through. And after you have done this, You take the upper bucket together with the lower lid and the fast flow hose, and you place it on top of the lower bucket, and topping it off by putting the upper lid on the upper bucket. Now your Tulip tabletop water filter is almost ready to be used. However, the first 20 liters of filtered water must be thrown away. And that is 2 full buckets of dirty water. You might wonder why you have to do so. This is because it takes about 20 liters before the filter element is activated. Also make sure that you place the filter element, the water filter, in a very safe and convenient place in your home or in the school. And also do not let children play with it. Place a particular emphasis on the lower bucket, which is a bit loose, the lower lid. It's a bit loose so air can enter the bucket for it to work efficiently. And after you have finished this process, then your Tulip tabletop water filter is ready to be used. You take a full bucket of dirty water, you pour it into the top container, and then you wait for it to filter through into the bottom container. The filter will take about 3 to 5 hours to completely filter a whole bucket of water. And the clean and safe water will be stored in the bottom bucket. It will be safe for you to drink from the tap right here. To protect the filter from clogging, the filter element is covered with a washable pre-filter. It's important to check when the pre-filter gets dirty. When it is dirty, remove the pre-filter and wash it in clean water. Also, it's important to regularly wash the filter element using a toothbrush or a cloth, like so. Also, in clean water. Very important, do not use soap to wash the filter element. After some time, the flow rate of the filter element reduces. When this happens, take the scrub pad and carefully rub off a small piece of the filter element, a small layer of the ceramic material. Many people scrub off too much material, so make sure that you don't apply too much pressure when doing so. After scrubbing it around 60 times, the diameter of the filter element will become too small for sufficient bacteria removal. This is where the end-of-life indicator comes in. You use the indicator to check when it needs to be replaced. When the indicator fits around the thinnest part of the filter element, it can no longer provide clean and safe drinking water, and it then must be replaced. For any questions or inquiries about your Tulip tabletop water filter or your Tulip replacement candles, please contact your local supplier. Or alternatively, you can always get in touch with basic water needs. Thank you. It's good water.